a teenage film snob, baby. I was a teenage film snob, baby.
Welcome to I Was a Teenage Film Snob. I'm James Chalmers, your friendly neighborhood film snob, and it is episode 150 of the podcast, which is kind of insane to say out loud. And some people are like, why would you celebrate a mid kind of number? Why wouldn't you wait till episode 200? Shut up. We're doing episode 150, and if I'm going to celebrate 150, it's got to be with my two favorite people in the world. Back, as always, Maddie Schultz. Welcome back, Maddie.
Hello, happy 150.
Happy 150. We're looking good for 150. And welcome back, Nick Owen.
Hello both, and congratulations, James. Quality milestone here, my friend.
I think it's congratulations to all of us, because I would say, arguably, without the two of you, this show probably wouldn't have made it to 150. You guys injected the show with some much-needed life force, so...
that sounds correct.
Yes.
Where credit's due.
What I love about Nick is he's just so incredibly humble. How are things, Maddie? I'll start with you. How is life? How are you doing?
Life is doing okay. I am in the crunch time of school, so of course, instead of doing the things I should be doing, I'm procrastinating. So I am aerating my grass with shoes that have spikes all over them. I am painting test samples of paint on the walls, deciding what color I want to paint my walls. I'm dyeing my hair different colors and hating it and trying to change it. What else am I doing? Annoying my husband. It's been great. It's been great 2 weeks.
I didn't realize what you were doing because you sent us a photo. Like, it's going to sound weird out of context, but the other day, Maddie sent us a picture of her feet. But it was you wearing those weird spike shoes, and I was like, is she playing golf? Like, are they like...
No, I was more doing that thing of like, tell me you're in your mid-30s without telling me you're in your mid-30s, and it's me doing lawn care.
Was that a homemade pair of stabby boots?
Stabby boots.
I love that you're revealing what you think of me, Nick. No, I bought them from Bunnings, thank you.
I see. Okay.
They just slip on over there. But were you wearing slippers when you were doing them as well? No?
I was wearing legit hiking boots.
I remember they were tan in colour, and I'm like, they were either Ugg boots or they were boots.
No.
But this was a while ago, and even I can't remember. Was it yesterday? Is that when you sent us the photo? Was it yesterday?
Maybe like 2 days ago. I don't know.
You know how you were like, this is how you know I'm in my 30s. I'm forgetting details from less than 48 hours ago. That's how you know I'm in my 30s.
For context, I was literally in like a sundress, but also in hiking boots because I didn't want to accidentally like scratch or tear open my feet. And then I had these spikes on the bottom. And I was telling Tina today because I met up with James's wife, Tina. And I was telling her today that I'm in so much pain on the tops of my thighs because once you like sink basically their nails into the ground, you have to like rip your legs back out and use like force. I must have done like the equivalent of like 10,000 squats. My thighs are destroyed.
You should have just had just cranked the Imperial March in the background, and that would have helped you get your knees up.
Yeah, but the problem is now it's the after effects of aerating the grass. Now I can build.
Yeah, you've got the
stairs.
DOMs kicking in. It's like you've just done like 1,000 squats or something like that.
Anyway, so that's me. What about you, Nick?
I've been good. What can I tell you of note? Actually, interestingly, I had a mini high school reunion with some old buddies from my high school on the weekend, which was really lovely. We went to a park on Saturday, so we had good weather for that, and it was cool because some of those guys like I've kept in touch with, and you sort of see them semi-regularly, but it was a bit of a trip seeing people who I hadn't really caught up with for like more than a decade at this point, 10 or 15 years, and seeing how people turned out and where people, like where they work and stuff like that. So yeah, it was interesting. Definitely a bit of a time warp.
How impressed were they that you were 1/3 of an incredible podcast?
It was the talk of the event, I must say. People couldn't get enough.
On the attendance list, he was marked down as I Was a Teenage Film Snob's Nick Owen.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
He rocked up in his merch.
To these people, I was a teenage film snob, so nothing has changed, really.
Yeah. Nice, very good. I was thinking about this the other day. Next year will be 20 years since I graduated high school, and that feels disgusting. Time does not stop, guys. It keeps on moving. I don't know if there's a reunion yet. I don't know if I'll go. I didn't really like high school, to be fair, but it is what it is. If I can keep bringing that down the mood, that would be really good, actually.
I was going to say, I still see the majority of my high school friends. Our high school group has stayed tight knit this whole time, so I see them like regularly all the time.
I would say that the person that I hung out with most throughout my school years, I still hang out with all the time. That's my friend Josh. So, it's like I cut ties with everyone, all but one. So, there we go.
And then you two hooked up recently for a premiere.
Well, we hooked up and then we went to a premiere, so that was a really exciting evening. Yeah, we went and saw Black Phone 2, which was really exciting. And at the time of me getting the invite, Nick had not seen the first Black Phone, which is a movie that came out a few years ago, and I loved the first one. But you were saying, Nick, that you didn't really connect with the first one, so would you say there was an air of trepidation going into the sequel?
You could say that, James. But yes, you're right.
He's so polite.
No, you're right in that, like, I only saw the first one really recently, like a couple of days before we went and saw the premiere. And yeah, I don't know, there's something I was just saying before we started, there's something I just didn't really connect with. I didn't really engage. I think maybe I was steeling myself for it being a little bit scarier, maybe a few more jump scares, and it being more of a frightening horror than a thriller. So I thought it was okay, but like I was just saying to you guys before, like I definitely second screened it. It didn't have all of my attention, and obviously the second one builds on the story. But for me, it got really confusing because the first one wasn't like the Ethan Hawke who plays, I don't know, what's the villain's name? I forgot what he's. Yeah, the grabber.
Yeah, because he grabs
the claw machine.
Because he grabs children and puts them in his van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does this. That's why.
Everyone, do it, James. Do it.
I did it.
Together at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
The original character's name was the Krusty Krab, but that was taken, so they went with the grabber instead.
But in the first one, he's not a supernatural being. He's just a grabber. And
he's just an asshole.
He is.
But then, yeah, in this one, it was confounding. He was like, all of a sudden, he's a ghost who's now back haunting people, and I'm like, well, where did that come from? It's gotten really supernatural now, which, the first one did have people ringing the kid who was kidnapped from the dead. So I guess there was always a supernatural element. But I don't know, this one, I just didn't touch me. I think it was just one of those films I never really engaged with. So I don't know. But having said that, I have heard recently that it's done really well at the box office and people are liking it. So that's a good thing. That's just my opinion. But I don't know, James, you are more of a fan than I am. What did you think?
Yeah, the first one I agree with. The first one was very grounded, and like we were talking about it, I think after we came out of the cinema, I said, with the first one, I was never quite entirely sure whether he was speaking to the dead or not, because he's isolated in a room for most of the movie. He's being, kind of malnourished and stuff like that. It's easy to kind of extrapolate, or maybe it's just a coping mechanism. Like maybe this is his mind like kind of protecting him from trauma, and this is how he kind of keeps his sanity by speaking to the dead, but it's not really happening. In the second one, he flat out talks to the dead. Like, there's no ambiguity. So it is really different. I was saying before we started recording as well, I really liked that they pivoted, because that's a film. The first one's based on a short story. So I was like, I think a sequel is probably unnecessary. And what do you do with that character? Because spoilers for the first one, the villain dies in the first movie. So I'm like, where do you go? Like, is there going to be like a Grabber Jr.? Like, is it going to be like a copycat? Like, what? And I didn't watch any trailers. I don't watch horror movie trailers anymore because I don't want anything to be kind of spoiled for me. and then when they kind of revealed it takes a while to build up. I did like the second one. I was engaged. I didn't feel like I was second screening it at all. But I did feel like for the first half an hour or so, it kind of meandered. It was like, we're picking up where we left off, so we're just going to kind of let you know where everyone's at, and then we'll start thrusting the plot forward. So it takes a little while, so it's introducing these concepts, and then it slowly ties them together. But it does take a good 45 minutes to an hour to start really telling you what the film's going to be. Which is a long time for an audience member to wait if they weren't really on board with the first one. But the thing that shocked me the most, not only was it a flat-out horror, like it is definitely a horror film. The first one, I agree, is more of a thriller. This one is flat-out horror, and I couldn't believe how brutal it was. Like, there is some sufficient gore and violence in this flick that I just was not expecting. The villain is a child killer, and you see the way those children get killed, and it is... I was not expecting it in a mainstream film. If it was like Terrifier, if it was like something kind of underground or independent, sure. They take more risks, but a studio film in a mainstream release, probably the major October release for Halloween, and you're doing that to children. I'm not going to spoil it, because if people want to see it, they should see it without spoilers. I could not believe, particularly, the one I'm talking about in particular, Nick. There's one
I did. Yeah.
up against the window where I was like, oh my God. But all three of them are pretty crazy. But yeah, I liked the cast. I felt like Ethan Hawke is probably the most underused in the film, because he really is there just to be a boogeyman. Like, he's just there to kind of like taunt the characters and stuff like that. But I thought the kids were great. Go on.
A boogeyman with ice skates, though.
Yeah, that's true.
The finale takes place on a frozen lake, and he's like skating around on his little ice skates, invisible and knocking people over.
Yeah,
and then
that's true.
Someone's like strangling him. So someone's trying to strangle him while he's invisible. Yeah, it's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, the rules were not defined clearly with some of the things that happened in the third act. But I liked, the inclusion of Demian Bashir, who's kind of like this reformed criminal who's now like a kind of Catholic priest or whatever. I thought he was a really good character to include. And I also really liked that the dad changed his ways. So in the first one, one thing we find about the children very on is that their mother committed suicide and their father became this abusive alcoholic, and like he would take it out on his son and stuff like that. I honestly think it's one of the harder things to watch in that film. Like, in a film about children getting abducted and murdered, the abusive father is one of the toughest things about that movie. I really liked that the experience of the first film changed him in a positive way, and he was actually a very loving father who was trying to be better, and he was trying not to repeat his mistakes. Like, that would have been such an easy trope to fall back into with a sequel. Like, yeah, let's make him a jerk again, but instead, like, no, he's making that effort. He's trying, and they actually it was a little bit weird that they used his alcoholism for comedic value at times, like where he's like having the argument with like the ad or whatever about the alcohol. But at the same time, I'm like, look, this is a flick that needs levity. I'll take it where I can get it. But no, I enjoyed it. I definitely preferred the first one. But I enjoyed it. I just hope they don't kind of like mega franchise it now, where they're like, we need to have like the Grabber in 4 more sequels and Grabber action figures and Grabber lunchboxes and stuff like that.
Do you feel like Ethan Hawke would sign up for multiples like that, though? I feel like that's not really his thing. I feel like he might not sign up for something where
this is his first sequel, and he did just do a Marvel TV show in the last couple of years. So
but it just doesn't feel like his thing to sign up for like 3 or 4 of a franchise.
I think he really likes working with Scott Derrickson, because his first ever horror film was Sinister, which Scott Derrickson also directed, and he did these two. So I think if Scott Derrickson comes knocking, he'll at least consider it. Because the first one I would say did kind of feel like not necessarily what I would expect from an Ethan Hawke film, but I could expect him to push himself in that way and try something different. This I was like, what's his motivation here? Like, why? Like, Ethan Hawke, who kind of does very classy pictures and independent films and stuff like that, I wasn't sure like what it was about this script that made him want to come back. So I would have to say it's either money, Although he doesn't even seem like that kind of actor. He doesn't seem like a really like.
No.
I think it's
Maybe
Is
probably
he
just
like
really
a
likes
partner in?
yeah.
Is he a
Maybe just
partner
like-
in like Blumhouse or something?
He could be. I don't know. I have to go back to I think the creatives behind it. I think he probably just had a good time working with it. With them, he probably didn't have to show up. Honestly, he might not have had to show up on set at all. Like he's in that mask the whole time. For all we know, it could have been a stunt double. He's just doing ADR. Again, doesn't feel like Ethan Hawke, but I'm sure like they probably could have done all of his scenes in like a couple of days because most of it is stunt work that someone else is probably doing. So maybe that was the motivation. Hey, I get to stay home with my family, record a couple of lines, show up on set to do a couple of prelims. Maybe that's what it is. But
Maybe.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I reckon, honestly, Maddie, despite the subject matter, you could probably handle the first one. It's not too scary. It's not really scary. It's more the reality is scarier. But I would be fascinated on your take. Because Nick,
Didn't you just say there's like children being harmed? Like no.
But you don't see it on screen. It all happens off screen. Like it's
yeah,
all,
but I still know it's gonna.
Yeah,
No,
that is
no,
true.
no.
Because that film, like, it's funny, like that Nick finds it so hard to connect with that film. Because that film, I'm riveted, and the ending always makes me cry. Like I watched that first, like because it's a happy ending. And like I've watched that film probably 3 or 4 times. So, but yeah, we went to the premiere and we went and saw Black Phone, and divided opinions, just like the rest of the world. So I guess that stands to reason. Go check it out for yourself, everyone.
Healthy debate.
But at the same time, I completely understand where you're coming from, and like knowing that you didn't quite enjoy the first one, I was like, this one's probably not going to be for you either. Then, like it, but yeah. I watched a bunch of other stuff, but Maddie, you said you watched movies, and we've talked a little bit for a while now, so maybe it's your turn to jump in.
I did a rewatch of a few things. So I did a rewatch of 2 Weeks Notice with Hugh Grant and Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Just because I needed something just so easy. So I had that on in the background while I was doing some marking. And it just gives me a really good giggle. Hugh Grant's character literally has zero development, really. Like, let's be honest. I love Sandra Bullock's character. I love how just like absolutely blinkers on or blinders on, narrow focus. This is what she's going for. This is her morals. I love how she like Tita scurries around the office after everyone. I love when she gets just sort of spiteful and shitty with the new office lady. I love when she gets drunk on the boat. I love like the aggressive tennis game. I just love the transparency of all her interactions. And it was just fun.
And the
just
stapler.
fun. Yeah. Exactly the stapler fight. The Chinese takeaway order in the small tiny apartment with the millionaire at the end in the credit scene. It's just one of those lovely rewatches that I think I've never regretted putting it back on for funsies. And I rewatched. I did a bit of what would you call it? I don't know, in memoriam watching. So I watched First Wives Club after the passing of Diane Keaton. And that's the staple, and I just want Bette Midler to be my mum because I just love her. And that film has such good act structure, and Sarah Jessica Parker's hilarious, and Goldie Hawn is just flawless, and anyway, perfect no notes film. I rewatched that, and I've rewatched The Natural with Robert Redford. And again, I think maybe that might even be like I forgot how much I adore the treatment of that film and the quality of that film, and like, I forgot all these gorgeous moments, all these gorgeous, like, there's a scene where they're playing baseball outside a carnival and they're hitting it and they're filming in the golden hour, and you see just the golden sunset behind one of the characters. You see like the little fly buzzes around in the sky in the grasses. They do this gorgeous slow motion shot where Robert Redford's pitching the ball and just the golden hour light across his body, and he's like 3-piece suit almost, or he's taken off his jacket, he's in a vest, but like there's just these gorgeous things about it that I just forgot. I forgot all these little extra things that I loved so much. So that was really I wasn't doing anything else. I wasn't on my phone. I wasn't marking. I was just like watching that film. And I watched Materialist.
Wow, the Chris Evans, Dakota Johnson, Pedro.
Yeah, I watched that one, and that was just mind-boggling that anyone thinks it's a good film. It's not a shit film.
I haven't heard much good about it. It was directed by, I want to say, Celine Song, who did Past Lives.
Yeah, so it's got like, there's a few clever things about it cinematically. Like, there's a few clever things where, like, Dakota Johnson and Pascal go on a few dates, but you first, as they're having this conversation, it's their first date, and then the conversation continues, and you realize they're in slightly different looking restaurants and in different clothes. So then you realize, oh, hang on, we're passing through time through multiple dates, and it's really seamlessly done and subtly done that you don't quite pick up on it until you sort of do, and then you're like, oh, that was clever to show us that they are like dating. It's incredibly, I think it hasn't done well because it's incredibly blunt about the nature of the dating landscape that is now our reality. It's not bleak about it, but it's really, really it's brutally blunt. And I think people
pretty cynical.
I think so. And I think people are kind of a bit of, they're doing a bit of self-defense about it. So like they're kind of criticizing the film because they're not ready to admit that that's really where the dating landscape's sitting. So I think that's also why. And then also the resolution of the film, Dakota Johnson's character has no development whatsoever. And neither does Chris Evans' character. And then they decide to end up together, even though they've still got all the same reasons why they didn't work and why they broke up. But they've just decided, well, we love each other, so like that's okay. And you just sort of like, well, you've just spent 10 years deciding that it wasn't, and you anyway. So anyway, I didn't hate it. I just was like, this isn't great. This isn't going back on anytime soon. I really like Pedro's character, but that's because he was like, yeah.
I think you're meant to fall in love with him. Like he's the sort of the lust object of the film. Really, isn't he? The way he's shot, like, he does look gorgeous in the film. But to me, it wasn't really clear why she ended up with Chris Evans at the end of the film. Like, I don't know. It's I just like, maybe since it's going to be too harsh, I found it like a little bit pointless. Like, I didn't get anything out of it. Like, it didn't. There was no journey. I didn't learn anything about myself watching it.
Was it just pretty people on screen for 2 hours?
Pretty much, but also like they were admitting how horrible and sort of shallow and selfish they are, and then they're all just like, yeah, okay, and sort of like, yeah, okay, like we didn't have to work hard for anything, we didn't have to figure anything out, we didn't have to watch them suffer, really. Like, even Dakota Johnson's character goes through a bit of a like ethical sort of dilemma, and she gets really worried about one of her clients, but even then you're like, I feel bad for the client. I don't feel bad for you. Stop trying to make this all about you when your client is the one that's been like assaulted. Like, it was just a bit not quite ready. It almost felt like it wasn't quite ready or resolved to then be put forward in film, but it looked pretty. Pedro was pretty.
I haven't seen it yet. I remember when Nick and I went to see Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. They played the trailer for it twice. Yeah, they were really pushing that one. But I like Past Lives. Past Lives was quite, I don't want to say complex, but it explored the complexity of romance a lot more. So it's interesting to see like her jump from something that kind of goes deeper into that than to something that sounds like it's very surface level. But I'll check it out. And I'll give you guys my my humble review.
The other thing that is a plus for it, though, is like, it's quite a cool New York film. I think if you like films that are set in New York and you want to like experience that kind of like, oh, that's what it would be like to have cool jobs and live in and make the most out of New York City, like, it's pretty cool for that.
And it's New York. Mostly it's New York in the summer, like spring, summer. So we're not getting Christmas scenes or We're not getting the same, Christmas tree at Rockefeller Building or ice skating around Central Park. We're not getting those winter themes. We're getting summer. They're outside at pubs, or they're at weddings in these beautiful grand, grand places, or we're at New York offices. We're walking out, along the street where there's the terrace houses and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it definitely has the right vibe. Yeah, the New York flavor and vibe.
What does Chris Evans' housemate do that's gross? I can't remember what it is, but it made me laugh.
He leaves a condom on the floor in the kitchen, and Chris Evans steps on it.
Yeah.
And then he goes into his friend's room and he's like, what the hell? Put it in the bin. Why'd you come out to the kitchen? He's like, I don't want it in the bin in my bedroom. That's gross. And he's like, why are you putting it in the kitchen? What are you doing?
That's pretty funny. I do like this era of Chris Evans doing movies where he's not taking himself too seriously. Because he had kind of 10 years being Captain America and kind of being had to be this superhero. So I do like these ones where he gets to be a little bit fun and silly. Knives Out, I think, being the perfect example of that. So I'll check it out eventually. I don't know how much you have on your list to talk about, Nick, but I know the last time we sat down, you had some pretty strong feelings about Marvel. And I'm setting you up for a segue here because I know you watched another Marvel film.
Did I, James? I can't remember.
Are you playing coy or you forgot?
The one that came out after Thunderbolts?
Yeah, Fantastic Four. I just wasn't prepared to talk about it, so yeah, it was good.
All right, we're done.
Good, 5 stars.
No, I think that I was pretty down on Marvel, and as you would know from our last chat. But look, this was a lot stronger than most of the movies I've seen from them in the last 3 or 4 years. I really liked the little bit of a reset and another world where we don't have all this baggage of building on, these characters over 10 or 15 years. But I do know that they'll join the regular MCU at some point. So, I'm not fully back, but it was really strong. I have other stuff to talk about though.
Yeah, what did you watch? Because I've only watched old things. So I do have some stuff I want to talk about, but they're not new movies. So,
okay, I've got one brand spanking new and then 2 oldies.
Nice.
The new one is Tron Ares, which has only just come out in the past week. I am a massive fan of the 2011 Tron Legacy. I reckon Garrett Hedlund's great in the movie. It's got a cool cameo from Jeff Bridges, and I think the soundtrack is just incredible. It's the soundtrack by Daft Punk.
Are they back to do more?
This one is by Trent Reznor. I think it's actually might be by Nine Inch Nails.
Ah, cool.
And the soundtrack is incredible. It's visually stunning, but there's not a lot of story. They kind of they yada yada'd Sam Flynn, who is the son of the original character.
Yeah,
they yada yada'd him off out of the story in the opening crawl kind of thing, and it basically sets up Evan Peters as the CEO of the evil company, and these twin sisters have taken over MCOM, which is the Flynn's company, and it's basically we've figured out how to 3D print the Tron, the AI kind of programs out of the grid into the human world. And so Jared Leto plays basically AI Jesus, where he's created by the evil guy as a guardian bit of software, a security software, but he grows a conscience and he ends up saving the main girl. So yeah, visually incredible. And I saw it in IMAX, which was so overwhelming, with the sound and how cool it looked, but pretty flat story.
Is Jeff Bridges
and they didn't.
Nick was saying before, he's in a cameo.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it hasn't performed too well. I don't know if you saw the clip online, but apparently Jared Leto showed up to a screening to surprise the audience, and he walked in, and the audience, the cinema was like only like 10% full or something.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing though. Like, there's apart from the Tron branding and how the AI characters look, which is really cool with their like LED light suits. Um, Apart from that, there's no continuity. Like, there's nothing pulling me back
Mhm.
because they've scrapped all of the characters from the previous film. So, and the other thing is like they didn't develop. There was no character development in the first half an hour to make me care about them when the action happens in the second half of the film. So it just becomes a little bit empty.
Is this
So
kind
it
of
was
par for the course for the Tron franchise? Because I haven't seen any of them, but I feel like they make a movie, it underperforms, they wait 20 years, they make another movie, it underperforms, they wait 20 years, make another movie. That kind of feels like the story of Tron.
yeah, that does feel like the pattern. And look, I don't think that Tron Legacy, which was the previous one, I don't think it was like a massive. It wasn't like one of those billion-dollar films
Mm,
kind of thing. But I think it's had a massive cult following because of the
yeah.
Daft Punk soundtrack,
Mm,
because it's aged really well visually. This one, I don't think will. I think this will successfully kill the franchise, to be honest.
yeah.
Um, the other, or one of the older films I watched recently was 1993's Dennis the Menace, which is an absolute banger.
Yes.
What made you pick that up, you legend?
Christopher Lloyd.
Uh, yeah, well, okay, so this is just the kind of film that Elisa and I like to watch on like a Sunday night. But Christopher
Is that
Lloyd,
what you borrowed my
he,
login for?
uh, no, it was on Netflix. No, I borrowed that for the paper.
Ah, cool.
Um, Christopher Lloyd is in a different film to the rest of the cast. He
Yes.
is so terrifying in Dennis the Menace. I don't know how they made him so scary in a kids' film. Like, there's a little sweet child eating an apple in his backyard, and then
Oh,
this
I'm so glad you
shadow
brought up this
comes
scene.
over him. And he's just leering at him and stabs the kid's apple with his knife. What the hell?
That's my most, I would say, of all the films I quote in my day to day, that scene is the most quoted. What do you got there? Apple. Whenever like we fill up the fruit bowl, Tater pass me the apples. Apple. Like that's my go-to. That is my number one, probably most quoted line of any film. It's stuck with me forever.
Um, you know what's stuck with me forever is Walter
I'm eating.
Matthau's like painted steak and how
Yeah.
chewy it is.
Yeah. Or his Tic
He's
Tac
like,
teeth.
tastes funny.
Hmm.
Um,
Tastes like
I
paint.
loved it.
Yeah.
It's just such a great film. Although now we just know that Dennis has got like raging ADHD and just needs some extra attention. But that's a classic. I would recommend. That's just like a millennial gold nugget. I think if you're our generation, that is just going to be a good time to go back to.
100%. Yeah.
And then the other one we watched, and you'll get a flavor of what I watched with Alicia versus by myself. This is another one I watched with Alicia was 2008's The House Bunny with Anna Faris.
Tina likes it. I've never seen it, but Tina really likes it. She said it's really fun.
I haven't seen
It's
it, but
pretty
has it got
funny.
milestone? Is
It's
that Emma
crazy how many
Stone?
young, yeah, like the young
Yeah.
cast that's in it. So Emma Stone's in it, and she's a baby in it. Kat Dennings is also in it.
Hmm.
Oh, cool.
So
Okay.
very broadly, she's like starts the film living at the Playboy Mansion. She's a Playboy bunny, and then she gets kicked out, and so she doesn't have anywhere to go. Being 2008, she's a little bit like blonde and ditzy. We don't really have developed characters in those dark ages. Um,
But she's
and
got
so
a heart
she,
of
and
gold.
yeah, right. And so she moves into this sorority house, and they need 30 pledges to be able to stay for
It's
the
a
house to
house?
stay
Yeah.
alive. Yeah. And so they teach her like brains and she teaches them like sex appeal to like attract new pledges. And then that's really the film.
That just sounds like girl old school.
Mm.
Did you ever
Yeah,
watch Old School with
it
Will
probably
Ferrell?
is. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is classic. Yeah, it is. It kind of is that. And
yeah.
then I'll shout out the one scene where it actually made me laugh out loud. Emma Stone is introducing the ladies of that sorority house, and she's like, I can't remember the names, but she's like, "Oh, this is Natalie," and then she's just like, and that's her way from it. That's her like way of remembering names. So that made me laugh.
Nice. That's a good batch. Definitely some
I'll
variety.
give it 4 grabby claws out of 5.
Grabby claws. Oh
Um,
man.
that's my batch.
I that's not a bad batch. A little Star Wars joke for you. I haven't watched that show, but I understand it's popular. I've watched a ton of stuff, but I'll keep it short. I don't know if I talked about the Sparks Brothers on the show previously, but that's a documentary by Edgar Wright that I watched about this band from the early 70s. These two brothers who grew up in California. They couldn't make their music work in America, so they moved to London and pretended to be like a Britpop band. And then they ended up accidentally founding new wave and modern electronic music. It's 2.5 hours. I'd never heard of this band before, and now they're like one of my favorite bands. It's incredible. So the Sparks Brothers is wonderful, really fascinating stuff. I went and saw One Battle After Another with Nick. We went and saw that 2 weeks ago. We recorded about it, and then 2 days later we went and saw it. You kind of waxed rhapsodic about it when you talked about it last time, Nick. So I won't be able to do as well as you did, but I loved it. I do think it's getting a lot of praise, and people are saying it's the best film of the year. It's very easy to jump on that bandwagon, but I do agree. I think it might not be my favorite of the year,
Come
but
on.
it's clearly head and shoulders above everything else that's come out this year so far. And surprisingly funny. I had a great time with it. And really didn't know it was going to be such a sexually driven film. There's so much, especially the first 15 minutes. I was like, this is insanely sexual, and I was not expecting that.
Sean Penn is on another planet in this film with his motivations for
He's
he's sort of
really
the arch
good
villain of
in
the
it.
movie,
Yeah,
and he's just on another planet.
he's a real nasty piece of work as well. But also at the same time, he's also very funny, just in how ridiculous he is. I went to Monster Fest, which is a big horror film festival they do every year, and I saw the Australian premiere of Deathgasm 2, Gormageddon. That was really fun. There's a movie from 10 years ago called Deathgasm. It's a New Zealand film. They both are. And it's about these two losers in high school who love metal, and everyone thinks they're Satanists. And then they end up discovering these magical music notes that allow them to raise the dead. It's this kind of gory zombie film. So it's New Zealand heavy metal and zombies. So this is the sequel 10 years later. And it was really fun. It's not quite as good as the first one. The first one's very we're on the straight and narrow. We know where we're going. This one, just like with Black Phone 2, meanders a little bit. But it's really fun. And there's so many dicks in this movie. It's crazy. I always appreciate it when in a horror film they're not just content to just get girls to rip their tops off, and instead they exploit men. I always think that's a nice balance in a horror film. And then I rewatched a bunch of stuff. I apologize. I didn't rewatch anything. I watched a lot of stuff for the first time, but they're all older movies. So for the first time ever, I watched Ed Wood, the Tim Burton biopic. Wonderful. What a fantastic movie that is. I'd never seen it before. Don't know why it took me so long, but it's incredible. Speaking of Sarah Jessica Parker, she's in it as well. And it's basically Ed Wood was this guy in the 50s who's kind of become renowned as being the worst filmmaker of all time. Just every bad movie, his name was attached to it. And he lied to get into Hollywood. He would just call studios. He's yeah, I'm really experienced. I've made all these movies, but he hadn't made anything, just to try and make it work. And he would steal people's money and stuff. It's really fascinating. I watched Jacob's Ladder for the first time. The Tim, what's his name? Tim. Who's the guy in Shawshank? I can't believe I'm forgetting his name.
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins, thank you. I was going to say Tim Meadows. That's a very different guy, different race. Jacob's Ladder, which is very popular on How Did This Get Made, Nick, that podcast that we like listening to. But Jacob's Ladder is basically about this Vietnam vet who comes home and like kind of it's meant to be a horror film, and I guess it is, but it's not jump scare or anything. It's just more about the horrors of surviving war and like how that kind of plays on your reassimilation into society. And like he keeps having visions and seeing like monsters and like keeps waking up not knowing where he is. And then the twist of the film has been revealed to me like 20 years ago, but I won't spoil it here in case people don't know what the twist is. But it's really interesting, and just it's one of those films I have to go back to a few times because I think there's just so much to unpack. But it was really, even knowing the ending, it was a really fascinating watch. I really dug Jacob's Ladder. And then two more. I watched Personal Shopper, starring Kristen Stewart. That's from about 10 years ago. I don't know if you know this one. It's a flick I always wanted to watch. It's another horror film, but also not really. I think it's very, like, the reviews have been very divided, and I think it's because it's not giving you all the answers to the questions it's asking. It's not completing every story it's starting, and it feels very deliberate that way. So Kristen Stewart plays this young woman. Her brother's just recently died of a heart condition. She has the same heart condition, but she's a spiritual medium, and before her brother passed away, he was too. So she's in France at his old house, and the whole idea was that they said if one of them ever died, they would talk to them from the other side, and so she's just waiting for him to like connect through to the from the spirit world and stuff like that. But then while that's happening, she works as a personal shopper for this like fashionista in like European fashion and stuff like that. And she hates the job, but she also really wants to be who she works for. So she's always trying on her clothes and like sleeping in her bed, and is a bit of a weird like parasite within that relationship. And then there's this third plot where she just starts receiving text messages from an unknown number, and like they know so much about her in a way that they shouldn't be able to. So she's wondering whether it's her brother trying to communicate or whether it's just a stalker, if there's something else going on. And it kind of juggles that for the hour and 40 minutes of the film. And just keeps jumping around like that. And then the ending, the last like 15, 20 minutes, I kept like waiting for it to end. I was like, oh, the film must be over. Like it feels like it's wrapping up, and then a new scene would start, and I'd pull up my remote and I'd be like, oh, 15 minutes to go still, okay. And it did that multiple times over the last 15, 20 minutes. So it's a really unusual watch. It feels very experimental in ways. Not necessarily experimental cinema, but just like playing with narrative structure and expectations the audience may have. So I think that's why people didn't like it. But I really like Kristen Stewart as an actress. I think she's really underrated. I think she gets kind of pegged for the Twilight thing way more than Rob Pattinson did. But everything I've seen outside of Twilight, I've liked her in. So I liked it.
Yeah, me too. I remember we've spoken about Kristen Stewart, how like the last fair few projects we've watched her and we've been really like impressed, and they've been really good picks for her as well. Like she's picked these films where the character is really like gripping, and she's pulled it off. And
well, even before Twilight, like one of her first roles was in Panic Room, which is fantastic, and she's great in it. But then like she like, and even post Twilight, she did Into the Wild, which is a really interesting film. Like she's always done that. She just has like the Twilight thing seems to hang over her more than Robert Pattinson. And I don't know whether it's just because he played Batman, like which I know it's not true. Like he's done some really wonderful things. But yeah, I liked that. And then the last thing I watched is long considered one of the worst films ever made. So I was like, well, I have to check this out. I watched 1994's, was it 1994? 1995's Showgirls, directed by Paul Verhoeven.
Why?
Yeah. Okay.
Because I've heard it's awful, but I like to give everything a go, and just pure curiosity. I was like, I've got to... I also love Paul Verhoeven. Like, he directed some of my favorite films. He directed Total Recall. He directed RoboCop. Like, he's an incredible director. So I was like, what? If someone such a great filmmaker can take such a fascinating concept and completely butcher it, I need to understand why. And I don't even think it's a bad film. It's just a weird film. Have you guys both seen it?
No, but I was going to ask you, did you feel
Yeah.
like turning it off at any stage? Were you just sort of like, I can't?
There was
Like-
one point I did, but
Yeah.
not for the reasons you're probably thinking. Have you seen it, Nick? 'Cause I know they did it on How Did This Get Made?
Yeah, I would have watched it around when I was following How Did This Get Made, so I would watch the bad movies
Yeah.
before they would do an episode. Um, it's like a bizarre film with so much nudity and sex in
Yeah.
it. It is quite unbelievable.
Yeah, it's borderline pornographic. Like, it's really extreme. He was just coming off Basic Instinct as well, so you'd be like, oh, well, Basic Instinct is going to be the more risky of the two. Nope. It follows this young woman, and we don't really know much about her. She's hitchhiking at the start of the film, and she gets into Vegas, and this guy, like, steals her bag, and she ends up, like, meeting this girl, like, on the road, and they end up becoming best friends. She lives with her in, like, a trailer park, like, in the first 15 minutes. Like, they're suddenly, like, the best of friends. Honestly, I don't know how long this film is meant to kind of take place over. It feels like about 7 days. Like, I'm sure it's more than that, but it feels like it happens very quickly. The thing that's so... And then she starts working at, like, a strip club and stuff like that, and then she gets noticed by someone who, like, recruits for, like, the showgirl dancers and stuff like that, like a proper show, not a strip club. And then it's also based on, or like a loose adaptation of All About Eve. That's the other thing. Except instead of being two Hollywood actresses, they're two Las Vegas showgirls. The thing that's so jarring in this film is the girl who plays the lead, Elizabeth Berkley, who apparently is an incredible actress, is entirely erratic in every single scene. Like, the first, like, a scene will go from her being, like, really excited to be with her friends and to be part of the club, and, like, on a dime, she's, like, losing her mind, like, abusing everyone, yelling at them, like, getting really angry. And I don't, like, it's just the kind of reaction that no rational human being would ever have in a conversation. It's like the script said she gets annoyed, and instead she, like, turned it up to 11 and was, like, ready to burn the place down. And they're also, like, going on about, like, how she's, like, everyone's like, oh, she's an incredible dancer, she's such a natural talent. And every time she dances, it's like, do you know the meme on Instagram, like, Renata Bliss, your freestyle dance teacher? Where it's, like, all, like, arms. That's literally how she dances. It's like,
Or I'm thinking of the meme of, oh my God, I forgot her name. Chicken, 10 Things I Hate About You. Alicia Silverstone? No.
Julia Stiles?
Wrong. Julia Stiles. It's the one where Julia Stiles does the one where she does the dance at the end, and it's like
Yeah.
a mixture of contemporary and ballet, and it's so bad.
Yeah. Like, there's a world in which she probably does have some dance talent, but it feels like everyone's just like, just do what you're doing, do that. Like, that's working. But it's definitely not. But yeah, so just go, like, that's the film. But, like, the bit that I wanted to turn off and I got very close to is that there is, out of nowhere, not set up at all, a very unprovoked abuse scene where a character gets attacked. And it's, honestly, I've seen a lot of horror films in my years. One of the most vicious things I've seen in a film that, for all intents and purposes, was pretty lighthearted. Like, there was some petty, like, revenge going on between the girls, and they were kind of teasing each other. But it was... I wouldn't say so far as it was a romp, but, like, this scene feels like it's part of a very different movie. Like, not the movie that I was watching. And it was so full on that I was like, if this doesn't, like, end soon, I'm going to have to turn this off or, like, fast forward. And they kept, like, intercutting it with party scenes, so you didn't know when it was going to come back. And that was really difficult to watch. And I remember, like, Tina was like, let me know how it is, because I've heard it's terrible, I'll watch it. And afterwards I was like, you don't want to watch this movie. Like, yeah, like, I actually recorded a review for it earlier today, and I said to people, I can't recommend it, but if you are interested, once this certain character shows up, just fast forward like 15 minutes. Because it was really unpleasant. And I was reading interviews with the director, because I was like, I never hear about this scene. Like, I hear about how crazy it is and how ridiculous and how funny it is. Like, funny and how bad it is. I never heard that scene. And the director's, like, rationale was like, there are no good people in this film. Like, Vegas just takes. And the one good character, that was the character who had to get victimized, so you can see that there are no happy endings. Like, this is my commentary. He's a European guy. This is my commentary on America. America just takes. And there is no, like, happy ending in Vegas. I was like, well... I guess, like, point made, I guess. Like, but I wish I... Yeah. But yeah, it's just weird. Like, I don't think, like, I honestly don't even think it's a bad film. I just think it's a weird film, and tonally, it never knows what it wants to be. I think like a big part of it was that like if we say there's tits in it, people will watch it. Like that's kind of what it felt like watching this movie. Because I honestly
So,
think this.
James,
Yeah, go on.
you've had a pretty dark week because I guess you've been like looking at these or talking to Sensory about um, like extreme cinema. Would you say this is borderline fits into that category?
No, not at all. Yeah, yeah. Sensory Stowers was on the last episode, and we talked about extreme cinema. No, this I wouldn't categorize that at all. But that one scene absolutely could be in an extreme cinema film for sure. Like, even though like everyone is clothed, like it's so aggressive. It's like I don't feel uncomfortable or sick in film very often, and I like found myself looking away. I was just like, this needs this is way too long. Like Irreversible's scene is longer than this, and this feels way too long. Like, come on, like you gotta. And then like what was really frustrating, and spoilers for a 30-year-old film, is the main character's like, I'm gonna get revenge. I'm gonna like get them back for what they did to you. I was like, great, amazing. Let's see some vengeance. Pardon me, I'm so sorry. And so she goes up to the room and like pretends to like seduce him, and she has a knife in her skirt. She pulls it out and puts it under his throat, and she goes, "The next time I'm going to kill you." I'm like, no, what do you mean next time? Like, no, like you're leaving. We know we're at the end of the film. You're not going to come back. Why are you going to give him room to like have a next time? Just kill him. And instead, she just like kind of beats him up, and I'm like, no, like. Not a good friend. And I'm not endorsing murder, but at the same time, if you are going to go up to the penthouse suite of a casino with a knife in your belt and hold it against an aggressor's throat, there should only be one plan, and it's not the plan that she did there. Yeah, it's a weird film, for sure. But I would recommend everything about that film except for those like 10-15 minutes. Like the rest of it, you got to be rolling your eyes and have a bit of a laugh at it. But yeah, very strange. And thank you for listening to that episode with Sensory, Nick, because there's some pretty full on stuff in that one.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Like, I don't say this as a joke or anything like that, but it was really interesting to hear someone like defending their love of some of those really controversial films, like defending a Serbian film. Like I never heard anyone that passionate about that film before. So it was genuinely a really interesting listen. And then the other thing, James, is thank God you introduced her as your first UK guest, because we would have never known if it wasn't for you saying that. It's the most sweetest person I've ever
that
known.
was a really interesting. Yeah, I know, right? That was a really interesting conversation because I knew she was going to go into places that I haven't dared watch before. I was surprised I'd seen as much of the stuff that she was talking about and she talks about on her podcast. But like you'll notice when we get to the Serbian film and she talks about that one particular scene, I go incredibly quiet. I'm like, I was like, I don't know how to respond to this because I don't care whether it's on screen or not. Like at that point, that's pretty full on. But I was like, I also don't want to like come after her because I wanted to give her a platform and I wanted someone to explain or rationalize the genre because there are definitely some that I've watched and I would even go so far as to say I've enjoyed. But there's definitely stuff that I won't go into. I'm like, well, let's hear it from someone who, is a rational person and is clearly not insane. Like she's very lovely and well spoken. Like she's clearly not some sort of, predator or creep. Like she's just, intrigued by the darker nature of filmmaking. So I was like, let's get someone on and talk about it because I don't have anyone in my circles, including myself, who can really talk kind of from experience. But like in that bit there, I was like, yeah, I don't know how to respond to this. I'm just going to let you talk because I don't know if I could. Yeah.
Yeah, it was what was really interesting because it was, like Sensory clearly has a love for that kind of cinema. So it was super interesting to hear why and that it is extreme, but the director's probably trying to say more than just to be extreme. I don't know. Maddie, I've got a question for you without notice, which I know that scary and extreme cinema is not your bag. But I'd just be interested to hear, like, what would you say is the scariest and most extreme film you've actually watched through to the end?
Dennis the Menace.
One of my biggest fears of all time is E.T. which
Extreme terrestrial.
I just can't cope, which is so stupid. And apparently I'm not on my own. I think Spielberg has had conversations where he realizes that there's lots of people in the same boat as me, and he's really sad about it. So it's a thing. But then I think the scariest one was maybe 1 or 2 years after it came out. I rewatched because I went to see Signs when it was in cinema, and I couldn't cope, so I sat on the floor just facing my friends and chatting to my friends while I finished watching. And
You
then
would
as
have
I
been
got
young
older,
when
I was
that
like,
came out.
yeah, it was definitely cinemas. So I don't know. I have no idea how that happened.
Because that's 2002. So I'm 14. So how old are you? Like 10?
12. We're 2 years
12.
apart.
I can never remember how old you are.
Yeah. So
you,
I would have.
You present yourself as older because you're so much more mature than me. Which I know you're like, what are you talking about? I'm insane.
Yeah, liar. Yeah, or well, then maybe it was some sort of rescreening because it was in cinemas and I was in high school.
I could imagine you being the sci-fi girl that you are. I can imagine you being like, oh, it'll be okay. Like, even if it's meant to be scary, like it's sci-fi. So
I loved everything about it except for the scenes where you could, like, the cornfield or when they're running along the roof and you can hear them, because I'm very like audio affected as well. So yeah, I rewatched it when I was in my 20s because I was like, come on, grow up. Like, surely it's not as scary anymore, and now I'm more mature and whatever. And I remember even trying to rewatch it, and I was just like, not coping. And I think it is that it's less about the big scary thing on the scene. It's all about the build up. All about like the build up behind it, the music, the like Foley, and the stature of the thing. So I know it sounds so embarrassing, but
no, I watched it in the last 18 months, and Netflix still holds up and is pretty scary. Like,
well, I've watched all of Stranger Things, and I love Stranger Things, and it doesn't frighten me at all. So, like, Stranger Things and all the graphic monsters and the way that they do the suspense in that, for some reason, doesn't affect me. I can go to sleep at night, and I'm not dreaming of Vecna and whoever else, and it's not affecting me. But still, if I go back and try and redo any of those, it's game over.
Well, I think also like Signs is linked to a childhood memory for you, so that's gonna like there are definitely certain films I think that if you're traumatized by them as a child, it's very hard to then kind of overcome that later.
Like in my head, even right now, I remember being utterly frightened of when you don't see E.T. run off into the cornfield, but you see the swing going and you see the rustling of the corn. And so it's the sound of the swing, the sound of the corn. And so then, it pops up again in Signs, the cornfield. And maybe I'm just like...
Also, horror movie tropes being used there. Like, it might be a kid's film, but those are horror film tropes for sure.
Yeah, but when they're driving through the cornfield in bloody Interstellar, totally fine.
During the day.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe it's the daytime thing, because the cornfield's in... A Quiet Place, not a problem. The creatures in a quiet place, the suspense in a quiet place, not a problem.
But you also watch those as an adult.
As an adult, exactly, true.
Yeah.
So maybe there's some sort of childhood trauma.
I feel I need to address two things before I forget. The first, Nick listened to the podcast because he told me midweek that he only uses a particular kind of app. So now anyone who uses Pocket Cast can listen to the podcast because I changed it to that app just for Nick to make sure it's available. Because Nick was genuinely like, because I said to him, like, he was like, how can I listen to the Extreme Cinema Show? I'd like to listen to that one. And I was like, oh, it's just like on Spotify and stuff. He goes, no, I don't use that. He goes, I use Pocket Cast. I was like, leave it with me. I'll set it up. And like within 24 hours, it's done.
I know where the podcast is released.
No. No, it wasn't even that. It was more about like being able to prioritize it on your like listening or whatever.
I've got one podcast feed, and if you're not on it, I'm not going to listen.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well done on setting that up. That was very quick and responsive, James.
And the other thing I want to say, because we're just on the topic of scary films, next week or in the next in the next 3 days, Nick Owen, Weapons will be on streaming. I just got an email while we're talking.
Excellent.
So Weapons is coming to HBO Max this week.
Oh, HBO Max, cool. Yeah, I'd love to see that again. That was great.
Yeah.
I'm excited that I think it's November 7th. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein's coming out. I'm really excited for that. I love all his films, and I reckon I read Frankenstein once every 2 years easily. I love that book. So, yeah.
And really Predator Badlands is out soon. Is that right?
I
I thought I got an email from Hoyts about it. They're like, Badlands is coming, but I don't know.
That must be late November, maybe.
I've kind of switched off on the upcoming releases. We'll talk about that at the end of the show, but I don't know if I'll be getting out to the cinema much more for a little while.
I've got 8 books coming out in November that I'm like, oh no, which one am I going to read first? So yeah.
Well, that definitely went longer than I expected. That was an hour of us just talking about what we watched. The main thrust of the episode, being this episode 150, I said to you guys, what do you want to do to mark the occasion? Because you guys have been on the... I kept saying, you guys have been doing the show for 6 months now. It's actually 7 months you've been doing the show now. So we should all have some input. And Maddie just responded with 3 words, games.
Games.
So we've all brought a game, and we're also going to wrap the show up with I would say a show favorite, which is Date Night, because we had so much fun with that a few months back. But before we do you have anything you want to say to mark the occasion? Do you have any thoughts on doing the show? Even though you've only been kind of regular host for the last 7 months, you've been on the show multiple times before then, since the show's inception. Nick, you were the second guest ever. And Maddie, you were definitely in the first 10, I would say. So do you have any thoughts or any feelings about being regular co-hosts, or just about the show in general?
Well, I do. I feel like over the course of 150 episodes or my first appearance to then becoming a co-host, what an amazing platform for our friendship. And thank you so much for creating the catalyst for a new friendship. So me and Nick now, I absolutely would say you're my friend, and we are becoming so well-oiled machine and close and joking, and I just think it's really lovely that we've formed these new things.
Maddie had to clarify for you, Nick, because on the first episode she appeared, I'm like, we're kind of friends, aren't we? And Maddie's like, yes, James, we're definitely friends. So ever since then...
Why do I always have to tell you guys, confirmed, we're friends? I've decided, fuck you, we're friends. Why do I have to be...
We are friends, Maddie.
Why are you
very
not
chubby.
sure? Well.
To be fair, Maddie, when we first started messaging online, because I added you on Facebook, you sent me a message and you're like, this is a friendship by trial only. You were like, if I don't like what you say, then I'm deleting you off Facebook. Which I do believe was a joke, but at the same time, you did say it. So.
Yes, but see, Nick confirms. He's like, I feel it. We are friends.
Yeah. That's very sweet of you.
We've got this fertile ground. It's been great getting to know you and know that you're a reader. I'm a big reader, and I've probably got some recommendations to come back your way. Maybe I'm waiting to find out what your taste in books is a little more before I go too crazy with recommendations. But no, I'm incredibly appreciative, James, that you've got Maddie and I on as co-hosts. I really look forward to doing these podcasts. It's such a good creative outlet for me when you kind of, it breaks up the week, get to talk about something we're passionate about. And yeah, getting a new friend in Maddie has been very special too. So yeah, here's to 150 more.
Minimum 150 more. It's nice to hear you guys say that because I crave praise. No, because that was why I started the show. I was like, I want something to break up my week. I want to be able to talk to people about movies, and I didn't have that in my life at that time. I talk to Tina about movies, but she doesn't watch that much stuff, And she, she was like, well, I'll do it for you, but I don't have much to add to the conversation. So I was like, I should try and branch out. And yeah, we've talked about it multiple times, Maddie. I didn't anticipate that we would get closer. I was like, well, I'll have Maddie on once, and then that'll fill that gap for the week, and she'll have been given a bit of platform to talk about things. I never anticipated that you would come on a dozen times and then become co-host as well. It
Just elbowed my way in.
like the first episode, we were both like, "Oh, like we get each other." Like, and that's why I prefaced the episode with like, "We're friends," kind of, because I had always thought of you as my wife's friend. Like, we're friendly, but you're my wife's friend. Whereas now, I would say you're absolutely my friend. It's like one of my closest friends. And we do talk not just about the show and stuff, but we will message about it, other nonsense in our lives, good and bad, and share jokes, and like if we're having a rough time, we'll reach out to each other and stuff like that as well. And Nick, you have obviously been my friend for over 10 years now, so getting you on the show was a no-brainer. What I've really loved is, as I said at the start, you guys have absolutely injected life into this show. Like, maybe the show wouldn't have ended or not made it to 150, but after like last year traveling, I was just like, man, this is a lot to manage, and this is slowly becoming a chore, and I just want to feel that spark that I was feeling. And then I was like, if I can bring some people in, maybe even if they come in just on regular rotation, like they might have some ideas or things that I'm thinking about. And I think both of you were like, look, we'd love to do it regularly. Maybe once a month is a good place to start. And aside from the first couple of weeks where there was some like scheduling issues, pretty much every 2 weeks you guys have been on the show, like both of you, which is so much more than I could have ever asked for. So it's been really fun. And I look forward to it all the time as well. Like all day today, I was like, I just want to finish work because then we're doing the episode 150. And then like I was playing with Zoe. And I was like, I'm enjoying this, but I really just want to get to dinner because once we get to dinner, then it's bar time, and then I can come on and record with Maddie and Nick, and we get to talk about movies. So it's the thing I always look forward to. And you guys have brought so much, kind of fun and ideas to the show. And I know, Nick, you've been talking about things you want to keep doing. Like you've messaged me like, hey, how do you think about this? What do you think about this art style? So we've been talking about things offline as well, which we'll probably look to incorporate in 2026. But no, it's been wonderful. The show was always fun for me, but this year it feels like it's really knows what it is. I think previously it was like, I'm just going to get together and shoot the breeze, whereas now I feel like the show is two halves of a larger whole. It's like we talk to people about film in the industry and stuff like that if we can, or just interview kind of different people, and then it's the three of us get together and try to make each other laugh for 90 minutes, which I really like. So
what
thank
does
you.
it say about us that we went to another level when we brought competitiveness into this?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, when we all
That's
decided.
honestly what I was always hoping for. I'm like, if we can bring like some of that natural competition into it.
Like we're far too nice. So it took gamifying one of these segments to be like, fuck you.
Yeah. We never talked about that, did we? I think we each won a poll, if I remember correctly. I think we each won a poll from that Sidekicks show. I was feeling really bad for you, Nick, for the first couple of days, because the first one I think I won with a landslide. The second one, Maddie won. And I was like, Nick has barely gotten a vote. Like, we need to. I hope Nick gets it. And then I think you kind of took away the final one. I think you like edged me out by a vote or something. I was like, good. I'm glad, because you definitely. I remember we were talking like Maddie and I stole so many of your choices, so I'm so glad you did get a win in
I
there.
think about what my team would have looked like if I had the genie from Aladdin and Wilson.
Yeah,
it would have been unbeatable.
Oh man, there's a lot of love going on in this room.
Well, James, I think since we all have a game, and you are the OG host, you should either go first or pick the order of our games.
I'm happy to go first. I think I very rarely go first because I'm like, I'm always talking on this thing. I should go first. But if I go first, then that'll get me out of the way, and then we can just go in.
Yes, go on, fearless leader. Lead us out the gate.
All right. So I built this game with 10 rounds. We don't have to do all 10 rounds, but I was like, I'll make sure there's enough content just in case. But we've talked for over an hour, so we really don't need it. So my game is basically a Who Am I style game. I'm going to read you out the cast list of a film in reverse order, so from least important to most important. According to IMDb. So there could be some, some battling opinions, and you just need to chime in when you think you know the film. I don't know how, we're not really kind of keeping score. I would say if you guess and you get it wrong, you have to miss the next turn, just to allow the other person a chance to do it. And to keep it simple, I've gone only films from 2025.
Shit. All right.
I kept it recent, kept it topical. So I'm going to read out a cast list in reverse order. As soon as you think you know it, just shout out the answer. And then if you get it wrong, then you have to miss a turn. The other person gets the chance to steal. All right, I'll just go in the order I've listed them. So my first movie, Kate McKinnon.
Fantastic Four.
No, not Fantastic Four. There's
I
like
don't
10
even know.
people on this list, so that's
I'm
okay.
like, are we supposed to guess?
All right. No,
All right,
I
yeah.
was just giving you guys a chance to think, and then I was going to move on to the next one. So, okay. Matt Berry. Jermaine Clement. I will give you a hint, this was a huge film this year. Emma Myers. Jennifer Coolidge.
Was it? It wasn't Wild Robot.
No, that was last year.
Ah,
There's 3 more. Once I get to the
Jennifer
second one, you're
Coolidge.
probably going to know it.
Okay.
Danielle Brooks. Jason
Why do I
Momoa.
not know who that is? I don't even know who that is.
She was one of the leads, so that's why she's higher importance, if she's maybe a lesser name. The second last name was Jason Momoa.
Okay. Well,
movie
Yeah.
this year.
it's not
Jason
another
Momoa.
Aquaman, is it?
No, it's another Aquaman.
Mm.
All right. Jack Black. That's the last one.
Minecraft?
Minecraft.
Yeah, it was Minecraft, yeah.
Far out.
There you go.
Jennifer Coolidge in Minecraft.
Yeah,
Interesting.
she plays the school principal, and she's amazing in it. She's really funny.
Oh.
She's just playing Jennifer Coolidge.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So Maddie won that one. That was a tough one, especially if you guys aren't familiar. There's definitely some films you will have seen in here.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right,
Well done,
next.
Maddie. Good for first point to you.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Again, like the first few are going to be really tricky, and then it will progressively get easier. So next film, Thomas Turgoose is the first actor. You might not know his name, but you'll know his face if you ever saw him. Tim Key. I was looking at the blank stare, so I'm like, I can keep moving forward. Naomi Aki. Nick's doing an inhale, so I wasn't sure. Stephen Yuen.
No.
Tony Collette.
Oh. Okay.
I'm starting to picture this film, but I
Yeah.
don't know what it's called.
I also
Why do I
know.
keep picturing something where they're screaming in a car at each other?
I also know you guys have both definitely seen this one. Mark
Tony
Ruffalo.
Collette. Okay. Who's the next person?
Mark Ruffalo.
Mickey 17.
Mickey 17 is right.
Oh,
Right.
good get. Oh, how could I forget that film?
Because, yeah, I was trying to think in my head, I'm like, hang on, who's Nguyen? And then I'm like, I've seen him in a film this year, and I couldn't pull it back out. I'm like, I've seen him. What have I seen him in? I forgot he's the shitty best friend.
I might
That's
skip a
right.
few of the more obscure ones, because I can see you guys being like, this is too hard.
Yeah.
I wonder if you... Yeah, we'll go with this one. This one has a lot of cast members, but once we get through the first few, it becomes, I think, pretty obvious. Sean Evans.
I'll be the judge of that with my
Yeah.
sweet fuck all points.
Bobby Lee. Kid Cudi.
Is
Guy
it The Rock?
Fieri. Yeah. He
Yeah.
made an appearance. Guy Fieri is next.
Oh.
Nick Swardson. Eric Andre. Eminem.
The fuck?
Post Malone.
Eminem.
Travis Kelce.
Right. So it's
Happy Gilmore 2.
It is
I was
Happy
gonna
Gilmore
say,
2, yeah.
I suppose either they're all playing themselves in something that's trying to be serious with some rap documentary,
Yeah.
or it's something just stupid. Got
The
it.
next one was Steve Buscemi, which probably would have given it away.
Probably. Well, as soon as you got to Adam Sandler, then I would have guessed.
Adam Sandler's the last one, yeah. I'm going to skip those two as well, because I think they might be a little bit tricky. I don't know if you would have seen any of those. All right. Gabriel Byrne.
Next.
Angelica Houston.
Ballerina.
It is Ballerina. Nice one.
I was trying to think, I'm like, the only thing she's been in this year, surely. Yeah. The Roma Ruska. Ruska Roma.
That was good.
Oscar Roma.
That was definitive. That was a good guess.
Mm. Yeah, on the second one, I still had a bunch more. The next one was Norman Reedus, which probably would have given it away as well.
Yeah, I reckon Nick, you would have blitzed me as soon as that. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do three more. I've skipped a couple. I just think they were going to be too tricky. There was one with a really great cast list. Like everyone was in it. But I don't know if any of you have seen The Phoenician Scheme, which is the news with Wes Anderson, so I skipped that one. Yeah. Alrighty. Katie O'Brien. Mark Gatiss.
I love your sigh. You're
Shay
thinking right.
Wiggum. So Shay
It wasn't Mission Impossible.
It is Mission Impossible.
Oh, well done.
There we go. I
Who's
knew once
Mark Gatiss in that?
I can't even remember, but he's in it.
He's
According to
credited.
IMDb, he is. I knew if I got to Nick Offerman, you would have definitely got it. So, all right, these last two, I don't know if Maddie has seen. I know you've seen at least one of them, Nick. Dave Bautista, Weird Al Yankovic, making an appearance. Kevin Durant, Danny Houston, Paul Walter Hauser. All right, the next one you're gonna get it.
Good on you, Nick.
I don't know if Nick's seen it, but I think you'll both get it. Pamela Anderson.
Oh, the Last Show Girl.
No, it's not the Last Showgirl.
Is it with Neeson?
Yeah, Liam Neeson's the last one. I was about to say Liam Neeson.
So it's the new Top Gun? Naked Gun. Something
Naked Gun is correct,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Isn't it good? My
you say
game went
Dave
for...
Bautista.
Yeah, Dave Bautista makes a cameo in it.
Cool.
Well, isn't he in The Last Showgirl with Pamela Anderson?
He is! Oh, he is too. That's really fair, yeah.
I want a point anyway, please.
Yeah.
You got a point
Yeah,
before.
you deserve that one.
Sure.
All right.
Isn't it good this game went first? Because it's clearly crashing and burning.
It's not. It's just
It's
we
fun.
haven't seen any films from this year.
Yeah,
We've
it's fun.
All right, last one. I can just tell you right now, Maddie, you haven't seen this one, but you've guessed every single one you haven't seen anyway.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those films. So
Except for Ballerina.
Mickey 17 and Ballerina. Okay.
Yeah. Sarah Paxton. June Diane Raphael.
Stop.
I was going to say, the next one you'll get it for sure.
Is it Weapons?
It is Weapons, yeah.
Ah, well done.
I was like, do I put her in? Because she hasn't been in anything except for this year. Like, it gives it away so quickly. That's it. That's all of mine. I didn't do The Monkey, because I didn't think you guys had seen that one. I didn't do Phoenician Scheme, and I didn't do Eddington.
Okay. The monkey is that Dev Patel?
No, that's Monkey Man.
That's Monkey Man. Sorry.
Yeah, The Monkey was a horror film with Adam Scott, Elijah Wood, Tatiana Maslany, and Theo James. It's really fun. It's more of a horror comedy than a flat-out horror. It's really fun. Yeah, Phoenician Scheme, just so you know, had Richard Ayoade, Charlotte Gainsbourg, Benedict Cumberbatch, Jeffrey Wright, Scarlett Johansson, Bryan Cranston, Bill Murray, Riz Ahmed, Tom Hanks, Michael Cera, Rupert Friend, F. Murray Abraham, Willem Dafoe, and Benicio del Toro. Like, so incredible cast.
What genre is it?
Wes Anderson. is the genre because he only makes Wes Anderson films.
All right, well, I might pick that one up then.
He always has really good casts in his.
Hmm.
But I was going through, I'm like, I don't think, as far as I know, Nick has seen the poster for Nation's Game because it was in the lobby when we went and saw Mission Impossible. I was like, I don't know whether Maddie's a Wes Anderson person or not. Even though I would say you often dress like a Wes Anderson character.
What, colourful?
A lot of knits. a lot of knitwear.
As long as you
You're
can say something like
symmetrical.
tails. So,
Lot
yeah,
of-
very symmetrical.
Your boots and your knitwear makes me think that you would belong in a Wes Anderson film.
Except for he loves his yellow tones, and I can't pull off yellow tones. So any of the greens or the pinks or the blues, yeah, sure.
All right. Maddie, you've got a game for us now. And we'll
I
close on
do,
Nick,
and
and
I
then we'll do
think
date night.
I think it'll be much easier. Well, I hope it will. My game is that you have to guess the film. Where the fuck is it there? You have to guess the film, but your only clue is an actor and their cameo.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think you'll
So we guess
be
the film based on the cameo of that person. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
I like it.
like, I can do it a couple of different ways. I can just say the actor, and then you guys can try and guess the film, or I can say the description of the cameo, and then the actor, and then you can try and guess the film. Like, see if you can guess it from the clue, if you want.
Yeah, go the hard one first.
All
Yeah, I
right, I'll
agree.
do that. All right, here we
That
go.
generates more content. It drags it out.
Look at you. You're like, oh my God, I'm so excited to make it harder. Okay, here we go. So the description of the cameo is gets killed by accident.
That's it? That's all we get?
That's all you're getting. Gets killed by accident.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want the actor's name, then you've got to guess the film that they cameoed in.
There's so many films I can think of where that happens in cameos.
All right, cool.
I've,
Well,
got
anyway,
I've got a film in mind, but
Yeah.
I would rather know the actor before I commit to it.
But
I'd
hang
rather
on, the
hear
film
your
you put in
guess.
your head where they get killed by accident, is it a cameo or is it a main character sort of thing? Like, if that
No.
helps you know.
Okay, well,
Alright,
we'll use this as a testing ground, I said.
Yeah.
My thought was Deadpool 2, because there's a bunch of cameos and they all get killed in a scene. That's where I
Okay.
was going with it, yeah.
Okay, or you could say something like, this is the end. Like Michael Cera gets killed by accident.
Yeah, that's-
or
yeah,
like,
cool.
yeah. Okay, cool. So anyway, description is gets killed by accident. The actor is Bill Murray. So what's the film?
Oh, it's Zombieland.
Yes, correcto. Yeah,
Hate
well
finding
done.
guesses
Just a
from
hint,
Alright.
guys, that's how it works. You guess it right.
Well, so we cool. I'll give you description and actor, and
Okay.
then
Yeah,
you can
alright.
do it.
I still like,
Okay.
yes, I still like pacing it out. Like, give us the description first and see if we can guess it.
All
I
right,
like
here
that.
we go. The cameo description is an actor playing an actor,
So many like that.
and the actor's name is Matt Damon.
I'm trying to think if that voice was a clue or not. Like, because
No,
that's just...
it's just me going Matt Damon.
You're playing an actor. Matt
So,
Damon.
what film has Matt Damon cameoed in where he's an actor playing an actor?
Well, there's a few. I'm thinking most recently, probably Thor Ragnarok.
Ding, ding, ding! Another one for James. Pull up your socks,
Oh.
Nick.
Because he also does that
You're
in
lucky
James
you have
Silent
one.
Bob, but I'm like, don't know if Maddie's going to reference that one. But yeah, Thor Ragnarok. I think he
I
also
haven't
did it.
seen Jane Silent Bob.
I think he also did it in Thor: Love and Thunder as well, if I remember correctly. But
Oh, that would have been funny to bring back the gag after.
Mm.
That's funny. All right, here we go. The description is this person judges a walk-off.
Judges
And he judges a walk-off, and it is David Bowie. What film?
What films have you even been in?
Oh, is
The
it
Labyrinth?
Zoolander?
Yes, it is Zoolander. Well done. He's the judge of a walk-off between what's his
Hansel
name?
and Zoolander.
Hansel and Zoo. Yeah.
Listen to your friend Billy
Didn't
Zane.
even
he's a
realize he
cool
was
guy.
in that.
All right, here we go. Next one. The description is he's a gross dude.
Is it Tom Cruise?
He's a gross dude. And it's Tom Cruise.
Oh, well, it's
Come
going to
on,
be.
Nick.
In Tropic Thunder.
Nick, come on. Yes.
That's where my mind went. But I was like, he is talking. I'll let him finish his thought. Yeah.
All right, next one. Description is this actor plays a hilariously exaggerated version of himself.
Is
And
it?
it's Keanu
Is it
Reeves.
Oh, I'm so glad I waited. There's the exaggerated version of himself. I'm trying to think. Is it? I know. I think I know what film it is. I can't remember the name. Is it the one with Ali Wong in it? The Netflix
Yes.
one?
Yes, it is. Always Be My Maybe, 2019.
Okay. Because I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, but Tina loves Keanu Reeves.
It's
Yeah,
an excellent film. It's the one
I
where
was going to go
punch
again. I
someone in
keep
the
forgetting
face.
cameo. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's like, no, that's a lead role.
Yeah. Yeah, they just got to drop in. All right, here we go. Come on, Nick. I have faith in you. All right.
So,
The description is desperate wannabe agent, and it's Michael Jackson.
Oh, it's Men in Black 2.
Yes. I could be Agent
Oh.
M.
Agent M. I'm Agent M.
I could be Agent M. All right, last one. And I found out recently my dad really likes this film, and I just thought that was adorable, and now I really want to watch it with my dad. Okay, the description is appears in the video store, and it is Dustin Hoffman.
I don't know that I know this one.
oh, is that The Holiday?
Yes, I was going to say Alicia might love this film. This might be your jam. It's The Holiday, where he's just in the background.
I
And,
watched
like-
that in the last year, but I don't remember that at all. There you go.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
beautiful. And
it's
I
when he's
read
doing.
something
It's
that-
when Jack Black's doing the soundtracks in the video store.
Yep.
And I read that Dustin Hoffman was literally across the road at a restaurant, and he saw them setting up to film, and he recognized the director and came across to say hi. And the director's like, "Do you want to just go in?" And he's like, "Okay." And because it's Jack Black, he was like, "Oh yeah, we can ad-lib this."
Nice.
Well, that's
Very
my game.
That's a good game. I like that.
That was good. That was good. I'm sorry I was so shit at it.
I could see your brain thinking. I enjoyed the effort.
I'm also very competitive, though. Like, there are certain games in our house that we're banned from playing at parties because I get too competitive.
Because you win and you hurt all your friends' feelings.
Yeah.
Aw.
I was like, I can do a list of 400. Let me just do it. Like, let me. It's the only skill I have in life. Let me do
It's
it.
my special interest topic, please.
I can't do anything else. That's all I have. Nice. That's a funny.
Yeah.
I could imagine us playing that one again. That'd be a good one to do.
There's got to be so many. I had to hold off on the Stan Lee cameos because I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? He's hitting on someone. He's eating at a restaurant. He's walking
Thor
past.
Ragnarok was a good pick, though. Like,
Hmm.
nice. All right, Nick Owen, you have the last game, and then we'll do date night.
Okay, mine is a variation on yours, James. It's also Who Am I? But it's actually just Who Am I?
Okay.
But there's some structure to this. I've got 10 people.
Yep.
They're not characters. These are real people from our movie industry.
Mhm.
There's going to be 5 clues.
Nice.
I've got a score sheet. Okay. When you get it, you get that amount of points. If you get off the first clue, which is
5
always,
points.
I've structured it so that's the first clue is always going to be the year they're born, just to orient you as to what kind of who it might be in terms of their age.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then obviously the points decrease as the clues go, and I'll mark
Yep.
your score, and then whoever has the most at the end wins.
Nice.
You're
So it
gonna
could be
wipe the
actor,
floor with
director.
me.
What was that, Maddie?
And I tried to,
You're gonna just obliterate me, but that's cool. I'm down.
I tried
Don't
to,
be so sure.
they're not. I've made this they're not obscure people.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, but I
ready
don't
to
think I'm
start.
getting any. I don't think I'm getting any off their birthday. But let's go.
Okay. I was born in 1946 in Ohio. My first
Oh,
major
hang on.
success.
Hang on.
For
I want
fuck's
to
sake.
take a stab in the dark. Is it Spielberg?
Oh, fucking hell, it is.
I
5
bow
points to
to the
James.
master.
It was just
Okay,
a guess. I was like, who's that old and still working? And I was like, it's him, it's Scorsese, it's Lucas. Like, that was it. Do you want to do the other clues just so we can hear what they were?
Yes, please. I want to see
My
at what point I
first-
would have maybe guessed it.
My first major success as a director came with a TV movie about a killer truck.
I would have got it there, yeah.
No.
Jewel, yeah.
I co-founded Amblin Entertainment and DreamWorks.
I would have, yeah.
Didn't
I
know
directed
that.
Jaws.
Oh, then I would have got it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am Steven Spielberg.
Damn. Good on you, man. All right, next
Okay.
one.
Strong start, James. Well done.
Thanks.
You know you can let other people win sometimes.
I told you, I'm banned from playing these games. That's why I really started a podcast, so I can beat everyone.
I was born in 1949 in New Jersey.
Jesus Christ. New Jersey.
I studied drama at Yale University. I have received over 20 Academy Award nominations.
I'm just trying to think who is a Jersey-born actor. Oh, Meryl Streep.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
She's New Jersey.
I had no idea. Shit. Okay, what was the next clue?
I'm often described as one of the greatest living actresses. Then the last one was I starred in The Devil Wears Prada, which is kind of like
Yeah.
hard to miss from there. Okay.
Wow.
Are we ready to press on?
Yeah, I always forget she's from Jersey. I was doing the age thing. I immediately thought dudes, but yeah.
Yeah, I was doing the age thing and my brain just kept going to like Clint Eastwood or something. So I'm like, who's like heading down the old alleyway? But yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Go. What's the next one?
I was born in 1962 in Syracuse, New York. I'm known for doing my own dangerous stunts.
Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank God. Phew.
Well done. And that was a 4 as well.
I was saying that's a
Nice.
4-pointer.
Juicy
That was
stuff.
good, yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
Credibility.
Then
What were the other ones, just so I can hear?
My breakout role was in the 1983 film Risky Business.
Yeah, I would have got it there.
Yeah, anyway. Okay.
Have you seen him in The Outsiders? Is it The Outsiders?
No,
he's, like,
I've never
with-
seen that movie.
With Matt Dillon.
Yes, and Swayze.
It's before he got his teeth fixed, isn't it?
Yeah, like he looks real country.
There's have you seen Legend? He's really good in Legend as well. And Tim Curry plays
No,
like
this
the
might be
devil.
I don't think I've seen anything of his before Risky Business, to be honest.
Okay. No, he's not. Yeah, he's still
Legend's
jarring.
great. Legend
yeah.
is it's a cool like fairy tale. He plays like this this knight, and he goes and saves like this fairy princess played by Mia Sarah, who was Sloane in Ferris Bueller.
Mm.
And yeah, Tim Curry basically plays the devil. Like, it's awesome.
Mm.
Yeah. All right.
I was born in Queensland, Australia in 1990. I began my...
Is it Margot Robbie?
Mia
Yeah, these are too
Wasikowska.
easy.
Damn it. I was like, Mia
No, it's Margot.
Wasikowska, is she our age? But yeah.
If it was earlier, at first I thought Chris Hemsworth, and then he said 1990. I'm like, there's no way. Because I
That
think
was
he's
another
83.
5-pointer, James.
I think Chris
damn.
Hemsworth was 83, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I didn't know that she was born in 1990, but I was like...
What about the other Hemsworth? When was he?
Luke
What's the-
Hemsworth? I think he's
No,
probably
not
closer
Luke. He's older. The other one.
Liam.
Liam, sorry. I think he's like 87, 88. I think he's around our age, or around my age.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, my initial thought was going to be Samara Weaving, but I thought that was too deep a cut. I was like, it's got to be Margot. So a lot of it's just I don't know these. It's just process of elimination. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
I was trying to think who's around our age. So I would have gone at like Emily Browning, Mia Wasikowska, Margot Robbie, because they've been out recently doing stuff. So. Cool.
Okay. I think next time, lesson learned, I'll calibrate these. They're too easy.
I don't
Well,
know if
not to
they're easy.
start with.
I don't know if
No.
the first. I don't think the first questions. I just guess. Like
You
that's
just
all
have
I'm
a good
doing.
old guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I was born in 1942.
Good job.
I initially considered becoming a priest before pursuing film.
Oh, I think I know who this is. I'm going to let you keep going though.
Go on, keep going.
I'm known for exploring themes of guilt, crime, and morality in my movies.
Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was either him or De Niro that wanted to be a priest. But I was like, I'm just going to wait one more. So yeah.
Guilt and crime. Yeah. And the 40s. Born in the 40s.
I was born in London in 1970.
Okay.
I often collaborate with cinematographer words cinematographer Hoyt van Hoytema.
I feel like I know who this is, but based on that clue, that doesn't give me enough. But I think I know who it is.
Well, let me have one more clue before you shout out your answer.
I often explore themes of time and time dilation.
Go on,
Chris
you know who it is.
Nolan.
Yeah.
Yay, thanks, Chris
When
Nolan.
you said 1970, I was like, Edgar Wright's 1972. Also, I think I'm the only one who's going to say Edgar Wright, so it's got to be Nolan. But when you said Hoyt, I'm like, is that the guy who shoots his films? So I was like, we'll wait one more. Yeah.
Okay. We're into the bonus rounds. We're at number 7. I'm making an editorial decision to remove the birth year from this because I think it's just like making it too easy.
Honestly, most times it's been the
helping
combination
you,
of the
though.
location and the year.
Yeah, the year's helping
Okay.
me kind of hone in on like the age at least,
Okay.
so I can eliminate other
Okay,
people.
all right. Okay, the location is going then.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
fair
definitely
enough.
makes it difficult.
I was born in 1943.
Okay.
I trained at the Actors Studio under Stella Adler. Yeah, I didn't know who that was either. I frequently collaborate with Martin Scorsese.
Leo.
No, 1943.
Oh, 43, sorry. Oh yeah, he would have been like 60 something.
No, 80 something.
No, I'm saying Leo would have been born in 1960.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Leo's not 60 years old. Anyway, we're getting distracted because it's
Sorry.
2020s. Yeah, we're getting distracted.
Hang on, he's got to be close to 50 something, surely.
I think
Leo's
he's
50.
Yeah,
Yeah,
50.
surely he's 50. Okay, cool. Anyway.
Okay, so
Yeah.
hang on. Stella and frequent collaborator with Martin Scorsese. I'm trying to
Marty,
think.
your boy from the previous one.
I'm trying to think of actresses that collaborate with Martin Scorsese. No, she's too young.
And we're not going actors like De Niro or I don't know.
Well, he said Stella, so I'm assuming it's a
Yeah,
lady.
you got it. It was
De
Bobby
Niro's
De
too-
Niro.
Oh,
Yeah. Because I thought you were saying he studied under that person, not under the name. Hang on,
I interpreted it the wrong way. Okay, yeah.
Hang on, what was the clue about the Stella thing? Was it that was their mentor who they studied under, or is that like a name that they pretended to have?
No, you've interpreted it correctly. I've misinterpreted it.
Okay.
Yeah, I immediately ruled out men.
I trained at the Actors Studio under Stella Adler.
Yeah, you
Must be some
got it
famous
right.
drama
I
book.
missed it. Yeah, I got it wrong.
Okay.
Okay. Well done. That was
Well done,
Yay.
Maddie. Bobby D.
Okay. I was born in 1968.
Mm-hmm.
I trained at the Western Australian Academy of Performing Arts.
Hugh Jackman.
You sure you want to
Is
lock in Hugh Grant?
No,
That's your final answer.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman is right.
Well
There's a really
done.
Well
great
done.
story that came out recently, like in the last year, about how someone who interviewed him was like, "You won't remember me, but we worked at the same restaurant at the same time." And like Hugh Jackman was like, "Oh my god, we did!" Like he was like telling like this story, or whatever, about how like Hugh Jackman used to like, I don't know, goof off or something. He's like, "Oh my god, like yeah, that's absolutely true." I was also thinking like Guy Pearce. I think he's around the same age, but Hugh Jackman, I remember WA.
Mm. Yay! Well done.
One more, and then there's a bonus round.
Ooh.
Okay,
Okay.
here's the final
Every
one.
round's a bonus round with you, mate.
I was born in 1956.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone want to take a guess?
No,
No.
not quite yet.
I starred in a TV sitcom called Bosom Buddies.
That is Thomas Hanks.
How do you know so much, James?
Because I don't know anything else.
I was going to say because he
That's
knows
correct.
his bosoms.
Yeah, I know my bosoms, yeah. Yeah, Bosom Buddies, if I remember correctly. I haven't seen it, but it's basically about two best friends who I think they have to either pretend to be gay or they have to pretend to be women to live in like a female, like a dormitory or something. Like it's a very like
Yeah. Sounds like the
80s
kind of
style.
thing we
80s
don't make anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like it's like a very like 80s or 70s or 80s bawdy comedy like sitcom. Yeah.
All right, a score check. Maddie is on 10.
Not
James
too
is on
bad.
24. But this
Shit,
bonus
alright,
round,
that's
Just call me Kiefer
This-
Sutherland.
this bonus round is worth 15 points. I've just decided. So Maddie, you can win by a point if you get this one.
the golden snitch. I could win.
Okay.
All right, game
I'm
on,
also-
Mole.
I'm I'm making this one up on the spot. So forgive me if the dates and all the information is wrong.
You're doing a live Google. It's making it up to make it harder.
I was born most likely in 1988. I grew up in Melbourne.
Yeah, is it me?
Is it James?
Yeah, it's you. But you
I
can't
was
let me
like-
get to the end of the clues.
Is it Tina? Is it James?
I was like, I bet you he's gonna like when you said the initial premise. I'm like, I guarantee you, I'm one of the answers. Like he's gonna do that. I was like waiting for it.
I thought it's only right with us celebrating episode 150, James, that the man of the hour gets his moment.
I appreciate it. I know you. Like I clearly know you so well. I'm like, I know. Like he's gonna like do a cheeky one where it's me. So I kept waiting for 1988 to pop up, and then when it did, I was like, it's me.
I was gonna say,
But then I was also like,
can we name the episode bonus round Bosom Buddies?
I think we should just call it Bosom Buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, my
All
face
right,
hurts. What were the rest
at
of
the
the
end of
clues,
that-
Nick?
Yeah, tell us. Come on,
At the
off
end
the
of-
cuff. What are your other clues then? Off the cuff. Go on.
I couldn't say that he worked at JB Hi-Fi because that would have given the game away too easily.
Hmm.
And I also
Could have said I
couldn't
worked at a
remember what
video
the-
store.
Yeah, I thought that, and then I was gonna say, I recently celebrated the 150th episode of my podcast, and then I probably would have ended on theme and said he was a teenage film snob, but he's trying to do better.
Oh, well done. I love
Well
it.
done.
So at the end of that, the scores
You
were
win.
inconclusive.
There's been a glitch in the matrix and the scoreboard's just blown up.
I think it was
We
a
don't
draw,
know. We
wasn't
don't
it?
have
in the
any
end?
way. We don't have any
Equal
way to
scores.
find out who won.
Oh man, that was a good game as well. They were both really good games.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say my jaw now hurts, so I'm smiling.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a dick when it comes to games. I think I'm kind of good at. I mean, as a Meryl Streep, like I said Meryl Streep so loudly as soon as I figured out who it was.
I don't know. Like you got Spielberg from the birth year. To me, that's a problem, James.
Yeah.
Well, the way I figured it out, like, I think the thing that's more if I can be a little bit generous to myself, I think what it is, it's not that I know it, it's the processing of the information is so quick. Because basically the way that listen to me brag about my brain. I was like, Nick said popular people, so it's going to be someone that's on his radar. He said 1940s. From that era, there's like 3 major directors in that area. I think maybe Spielberg, because like he's the most popular one. And also it's the first round, so Nick's going to give us a softball on the first go as well. So I just kind of like connected those dots really quickly and then was like, Spielberg? But I didn't know the answer. It was all just taking the information you gave me and guessing.
Yeah, if you'd said that once you throw out your first answer and it's wrong, you can't keep answering, that would have changed the game. Then I would have been like,
do you know what's funny?
What's
funny is I was treating it that way. That's why I was like, we'll go one more round just in case. I just want to make sure I get it right, forgetting that wasn't part of the rules. Because I self-impose those rules on myself. I'm like, no, if you get it wrong, you're out. So you got to make it count.
I'm like, milk the system. I'm going to keep guessing and keep trying and elbowing my way to get those points.
Those were really good. I really enjoyed both of those. So we can put those in the roster for sure. We'll probably do a lot more game episodes in 2026 based on our recent experiences. It's just like every episode, do a game. So should we finish with a lovely date and then we'll get out of here?
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
Same order, or do you want to mix it up? How do you guys feel?
Nah, same order. You go first.
All right. Hopefully we didn't all choose the same movies. I don't think we will have. All right. Nick and Maddie, here is my date. I'm relatively new in town, and despite a busy schedule, I'm also babysitting. You think I'm kind of dopey, but in a cute way. I'm pretty good at my job, but some people would rather I join them and do it their way, and other people would rather I stop altogether. Rumors about my past start to circulate, but I still try to do the right thing even if people don't like me. I had to suck all of the clues out of this one.
Why does my brain keep saying Mr. Bean? Ugh, it's not Mr. Bean.
It's not Mr. Bean.
I know, it's so wrong, but my brain won't get it out of my head. Babysitting.
Sorry to be a pain, James. Can you read that again?
Yeah, sure. I'm relatively new in town, so I'm not brand new. I've been here a little while, but I'm relatively new in town. And despite a busy schedule, I'm also babysitting. You think I'm kind of dopey, but in a cute way. I'm pretty good at my job, but some people would rather I join them and do it their way, and other people would rather I stop altogether. Rumors about my past start to circulate, but I still try to do the right thing, even if people don't like me.
That's really hard. Okay.
Do you want some clues? I'm not going to go. I'm not going to be like, and it stars this person.
No. Yeah, come on.
It came out this year.
Oh. Why can my brain not do any work today?
I'm stuck on like the babysitting element. I can't think of anything that's like applicable to that.
I'm not going towards children. I'm going towards these babysitting like someone else's car or some plants or an animal. I'm trying to think of like
you're heading in the right direction. It's not specifically a baby.
No, I figured it's not. A film that came out this year where they're having to like look after or keep track of something. Oh shit.
And they're relatively new.
Have we discussed this on the podcast?
Yeah, we have, yeah.
So is it Mickey 17?
It's not Mickey 17. I don't know if Maddie's seen it, but Nick, I'm pretty sure you have.
Okay. Because I'm like, he's a bit dumb and he's looking after that baby.
Not dumb, dopey.
Dopey, sorry, yeah. I don't know.
I would even say that the people who want him to stop altogether flat out hate him.
I
And
can't. I
the
can't
job,
even.
the job might not be one where you go and get paid. It might be less of a job and more of a responsibility.
I can't do this. What the
I
hell?
might have gone too vague with it. Because when I tell you, you'll be like, "Oh my god, of course it's that."
Well, then you've done a really good job because
Yeah,
I'm
it's good, James. It's
stuck.
good. I feel like I want to see this written down so I can then look at it line by line. I can't even remember half of it at this point.
I can remember it, but my brain is just sent in 4 different directions that then I can't pinpoint in on anything. Even the
Do
things
you want me
that
to do?
this
Do you want me
year,
to do
I
like
was like,
I'll do the highlights. So
Hmm.
new in town
yes,
and babysitting.
yeah.
Pretty good at my job, which suggests maybe they're still learning how to do their job. You know, pretty good at it, and it's less of a job and more of a responsibility. And rumors about my past start to come up, which does turn people against me. That's why they don't like me anymore. It's a pretty major plot point in a film that came out this year.
I'm out.
That I have seen, specifically me.
I think you have, yeah. You must have seen it. You must have seen it. It was a big summer film. Well, I guess it was winter for us, but it was a big studio film this year. Highly
Put me out of my
anticipated.
misery. I can't do it.
I don't know, James.
I
Just
don't
say it.
know.
It was Superman. He's
Hmm.
new in town. He's new to the planet.
Yeah.
He's
Babysitting
babysitting a dog throughout
the
the
dog.
entire film. He's still Lois does think he's kind of dopey. She's very much a hard-hitting journalist, whereas he's kind of goofy and sees the best in everyone. He thinks he's pretty good at his job, but the Justice Gang wants to hire him for their group, and Lex Luthor would rather he stops altogether.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a
I
major
can
plot.
yeah.
And there's a major plot point where Lex Luthor finds out some startling evidence about Superman's main mission on Earth.
I see. Yeah. I mean, now when you say it,
I couldn't just
yeah.
be like, it's a bird, it's a plane. Like,
I think
It's a
it's meant to
super
be like
film, guys.
a date, though.
yeah, I know. Well, we never really stuck too close to those rules, to be honest, Nick. I said you think I'm dopey. Like, yeah, that's fair. It's not really a date, but I don't know whether me putting that in the setting of a date would have changed your answer.
Sometimes it gets really hard to make it into a date, but yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm learning. I did another quiz. Episode 151 is our Halloween episode, and I did a Halloween quiz for my 2 guests. And it was. I have a problem with quizzes. I make them way too difficult. So.
I think I've made mine too easy. But
Well, no,
that's
just
okay.
don't compare it to mine because that was.
No, I've
insane.
made it really.
Well, we'll see.
I've made them really easy. I've done a little short list in case, we did the same ones. And I'm trying to think of the silliest one. I'll do a really silly, easy one. Oh, yeah, you'll both get it in 10 seconds.
Okay.
Easily the last line. I might not read the last line, but if I read the last line, you'll know exactly what I'm doing. So, all right, whatever. Now I'm going to read the whole thing. Come on.
Okay.
All right, here we go. First date idea. I clearly have ADHD, and you probably have PTSD from your naval career. As I create blissful chaos with your children as accomplices, you slowly remove that great big stick from up your ass. We bond over dancing, singing, a bit of puppet play, and longing looks while the Nazis begin to invade. Oh, for fuck's sake, you can get this in 10 seconds. Your faces, this makes no sense.
Look, I thought Superman was obvious. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's different being on the receiving end.
Wow. Okay.
I think there's like a lot of people assume I've seen everything, and that could be further from the truth.
Even if you haven't seen this, you know it.
Can you say it again for me, please?
I clearly have ADHD.
Yeah.
And you probably have PTSD from your naval career.
That's what I'm stuck on. I'm trying to think of an...
Yeah.
No, go on.
As I create blissful chaos with your children as accomplices, you slowly remove that great big stick from up your ass. We bond over dancing, singing, a bit of puppet play, longing looks while the Nazis begin to invade. I thought that last line would just give it away.
I'm stuck on puppet play as well, so it's got to be like...
It's a musical.
Yeah, but it's got to be... So it's set
feel
like
like-
pre... Do you think you know, Nick?
Go on,
Sound
Nick.
of
What?
music, is it?
It is The Sound of Music.
I've never
Oh.
seen. I've never seen Sound of Music. I was trying to think of
No,
like
I've never seen
pre-World
it
War
either.
II films.
You've never,
I was-
either of you have never seen it. Ah,
I want to. It's on my list. It's just one of
Chris
those ones where
Plummer. He's an OG hottie.
he is.
Yes.
He's the original plumber. Like that's why all of those porn scenarios are based on plumbers because of Christopher Plummer. That's where it came from.
And we can't go down the Captain Von Track road. No, we've got to go down the plumber. You're hilarious. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I thought that was really easy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe the listeners will be like, what are you talking about? This is so easy. All right.
Yeah, that's definitely on me. Like I haven't seen it. I was trying to
But
think of World War.
you know bits and pieces, surely.
I know like Doe, a deer, a female. Is that one? Is
Yeah.
that in that one? Yeah, and like you are 16 going on 17. And the hills are alive with Sound of Music. But yeah, I was like Chicago. I'm like, no, Chicago's not pre-World War II. I was like, once you said musical, I'm like trying to think of all the old musicals, and I was like, is it meant to be like a Fred and Ginger thing that I haven't seen?
With the Nazis, jeez, that'd be
I don't
intense.
know.
All right, Nick, your turn, man.
I'm making some amendments to mine because it was too easy. So just pad for like 30 seconds, please.
Take us home, Nick. Okay.
Well, I can do another one if you want to.
Yeah.
I can throw
Is
out
it-
Yes, please.
Do
another
it
one.
for funsies. Yeah. I don't like the other
Okay.
ones which have been very serious.
All right. Okay, first date idea. I am a sweet, innocent, and generally personality-proof young lady who you either have a kink to corrupt or secretly crave a stable and docile relationship. We go to diners, dances, and drag races and commit to our relationship by you being mildly less peer-pressured and by me taking up leather and chain smoking.
Grace.
Yes, my darling.
For the longest time, honestly, it was the last line. I was like trying to figure out the whole time, and then when you said I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because let's be honest, Sandy is the most one-dimensional character you've ever seen.
Yeah. Like, not necessarily the best. Look, Olivia Newton-John was wonderful. Not the greatest representation for Australia in this Hollywood scene. Like,
Yeah.
this is what we're all like in Australia.
All right, go on, Nick.
Okay. Still haven't finished section. All right, here we go. This is a first date idea. We go to your office Christmas party where there's drinks, canapes, and some awkward small talk with your colleagues.
I think I know what this is.
I make a new buddy and we talk a lot over the radio.
Yep.
I get a bit crazy and take my shoes off. However, this results in a fairly big ouchie.
Yeah.
I spend most of the evening crawling around through the air vents to keep away from some dodgy gate crashes.
Should we say it at the same time, Maddie? Should we count down 3, 2, 1 and say it?
Yes, please.
3, 2,
2, 1.
1. Die
Die
hard.
hard.
It didn't work at all, but that's
See,
okay.
nice and accessible for you. A nice, easy one to finish.
Yay!
Excellent. Oh, that was a bunch of fun. That was everything
That was
I could have
fun.
hoped it to be. I like doing these games. That's something that I never really did when I was rocking the show solo. So you guys bringing the games to it makes it so much more fun. Do we have any final thoughts? Anything we want to say before we wrap up the show for the week?
No, just what a blast we've had. What a blast. What a fucking privilege and a blast.
It is
I'm
a
really-
privilege to be able to chat about movies with your friends, isn't it?
I'm really glad that the overall response is what a blast, because when I asked you guys, I'm like, I could be asking a lot, and I really struggle to share when it comes to creative. I'm like, I've got to try and like take my hands off the reins and like make sure everyone has an input and stuff like that. I was so worried that I was gonna be like, no, fine. And I don't think I've been like that. I think I've been hopefully pretty like, yeah, like I'm like, I'll do the side stuff and I'll control that, and then you guys can just bring ideas. So,
I've needed you to do all the heavy lifting, and I just want to come in and stir shit up. I'm cool with that. That's what I can bring.
Awesome. Well, before we get out of here, quick word of business, and I'll put something up on the social media as well. This is the last episode the three of us are doing until 2026. We talked about it very briefly in the last episode, Nick and I, but I didn't make a big to do about it. But Tina and I are having another baby. And he will be here by the time this drops, which I'm going to hopefully drop in the next 12 hours, in about 4 weeks, maybe less, depending on how biology works. So I'm taking time off from the show. I won't be appearing on anything until probably March earliest. We are all going to appear, hopefully, in January on the Revisionist Almanac. That's what we've got in plan. I've been watching 1987 films for that. But I told Tina, I said, I won't do any recordings, at least while he's new, so that way I can be there. And not because I feel like a sense of duty. Like, I must be there. Like, I want to be there for my wife and my children. Plural now, which is kind of scary. So we're taking a little bit of break. Nick and Maddie, I don't know if you guys have even talked about it yet, but there is a possibility you guys might record in my absence. You might do looks at books based on the pre-show chatter. So there may be some new content from Nick and Maddie from time to time. However, if they don't, whether they don't feel up to it or they can't be bothered or whatever the case may be, I have recorded 19 episodes, which will start from episode 152 and will take us all the way up to 170. So for the listeners, there will be no change. Content will come out every week until the middle of March, at which point, hopefully, we'll be feeling ready to move forward and start doing shows again. If I'm not quite ready, I'll let Maddie and Nick know. But yeah, there's 19 episodes. It's just me mostly ranking the films of directors I like. There's a temporary new theme song for those episodes because they're not really I Was a Teenage Film Snob shows. They're hiatus shows, so there's a hiatus theme song, which I had a lot of fun doing. But yeah, so if you see the Instagram and stuff won't go dark because I've scheduled. So I think all my reviews are scheduled up until December at this point, and all the episodes are scheduled until March. So in terms of that, for the listener, it'll be no different. Other than the episodes will just be very much me by myself. But we're all as a trio. We're going to take a bit of a break for a little while. I think that's all I need to say. That's the disclaimer. I'll put something official up on Instagram once I kind of step away. Is there anything you guys want to add? Anything I haven't covered that I've missed?
I want to say thanks to people for having us hang around and listening to us waffle on for all this time too. Thank you to them. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you to the listeners and everyone who supports us on the socials. We've had a lot of people on Instagram, particularly, have been very, very nice and contribute and like and share and comment. We were building TikTok for a while, but I don't know what's going on. For some reason, the videos aren't posting through the system I use, so I've got to figure that out. But I got a kid on the way. I don't have time to figure that out, so I haven't investigated. And YouTube is growing as well. I think we just crossed 24 or 25,000 views, which is kind of nice. So thank you everyone for engaging and listening and supporting and buying T-shirts if you have. We will have a new T-shirt in 2026. Maddie has designed a fantastic T-shirt. I don't know whether it'll be available to the public, but we'll definitely be rocking it in the new year. But yeah, there's one more episode coming next week. Episode 151 is the Halloween special, so there is one more official podcast episode before we go dark for a bit. But thank you everyone for listening and for supporting. Hope you enjoyed 150. I loved it. What a great way to kind of wrap up the three of us for the year. And as I say on this podcast every week, guys, I was a teenage film snob, but I'm trying to be better. We'll see you next week.
Back to the future, Midsommar, Die Hard, dude. Where's my car? The Matrix, Jurassic Park, and Clerks, and Christopher Nolan's collected works. I was a teenage